Hey, this is Dr. C. Part two today, part two of Senior Screw. Now, last time, part one, we talked about all the ways that seniors can get screwed by the federal government, state government, local government, and some of the other things in the local community. I would have probably liked to have gone just a little bit further, but today I'm going to focus mostly on scams. Now, scams have been reported. Back in, let's say, 2022, there were over 1 million complaints about scams, most of them from seniors. But there's a very definite reason why seniors are targeted by these scammers themselves. One of the biggest reasons is that the seniors themselves are very accepting. They're very accepting of people. They like to talk to people. You know, basically what we did, well, I'm a senior. What we did is eye to eye, handshake, all that sort of stuff. That's gone now, it's gone. But we're very accepting. Also, seniors have, by and large, put aside a little nest egg. So they have available money for the scammers to grab. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. Because the scammers don't give a crap about you yourself. They only are interested in your money. That's it. And what's the difference? What's the difference? Remember I told you about the private equity firms? They are beholden to their stockholders. They could give a crap about the people, the patients who may go to the hospitals that they own, the nursing homes that they own, the assisted living places that they own, and now the hospice units that they own. So, well, we won't get into that. I read the other day that Massachusetts, and I don't really put a big stock into some of these things that are out there, but basically Massachusetts was voted as number one in the most well-educated state in the Union. Wonderful. It was run by a place called WalletHub, which is a financial advisory firm. But at the same time, I was looking up something, same day, Massachusetts was number one, because, and this was from the UMass Center for Gerontology Research, which is basically housed in Boston. And they said on there that over 60% of seniors living alone in Massachusetts have difficulty meeting their basic necessary daily expenses, which rated Massachusetts seniors the worst in the country. Now that was people who lived alone, seniors who lived alone. Seniors who were married rated much better. They were only rated the third worst in the state as far as covering their basic needs, which included things like housing, health care, transportation, etc. So what a wonderful way to begin this talk, huh? Oh, gee. You know, and I just to get one last thing about the housing. Now, we have a housing authority in Shrewsbury, just like there are many housing authorities in Massachusetts. But the housing authority here was started actually in 1964. So, been around for a long time. 1974 is when they built the towers, which is a federally supported facility, and 74 is when Francis Gardens came in. Now that was almost 50, it was 48 years ago that these came into being. 100 units in Francis Gardens and 99 units over at the North Quinsigamond Housing. Has not actually improved that much since. But the population of Shrewsbury has doubled since 1974. There were only 20,000 plus back in 1974. Now there's over 39,000 plus in Shrewsbury. Now, it doesn't seem right, does it? Doesn't seem right. But at any rate, we're not going to go into that. I could, but I told you we're going to deal with fraud. Now, fraud, like I mentioned, there were over 1 million complaints about senior fraud last year. And that amounted to roughly about $6.7 billion lost to fraud. So what are some of these major frauds that I am talking about? Number one, and the reason I put this as number one, because I'm one of the people who got taken over by identity theft. About 4 years ago, I brought all my paperwork in, and it got done. I'm not going to mention the firm and all, but nevertheless, it got done. The accountant did it, but it got rejected. Well, why the hell did it get rejected? Because someone had already sent in their taxes with my Social Security number and obtained, of course, a refund. So, how about that? So, what happened? Well, there were a number of things that I had to do. And it was amazing how, even though you're a victim of identity theft, you're the one that still has to work at getting all this stuff done. And it took a year for me to get it all done to protect myself from this identity theft. Come to find out that the person who did it was actually in jail in North Carolina, a jailbird, for Christ's sakes. And what he had, he probably got in with one of the guards so that and you can have computers in your jail cell. He was busy getting all sorts of Social Security numbers, buying them here, buying them there. There was a nice internet going on with that. And he would have the checks sent to the guards' bank, basically, in North Carolina. Oh, what did I have to do? Well, what I had to do was, number one, you have to still file your return. Well, for Christ's sakes, I tried to file my return, so we had to talk first of all, and that's not easy to talk to an agent. They may have hired 87,000 more, but they're not all agents, and it's still not easy to talk to somebody. So there was a particular form that I had to fill out, number one, which was the identity theft affidavit. Okay, I got that special form, filled it out, and the accountant sent that in. So then we had to then call the IRS and see what our next step was going to be. Well, I had to file a police report. Okay, I went up to the Shrewsbury Police, filed a report. Then I had to file a report with the Federal Trade Commission. What the hell? So call that number, went through the usual bureaucratic crap that you have to go through. After a couple of hours, finally got that filed. Okay. Then I had to contact all of the credit bureaus because now that they obviously have my Social Security number, I had to protect myself, so I had to check with the credit bureaus, had to check with the bank, had to check with my all of the credit card companies, just to warn them that my identity has been stolen and I needed to let them know if there were any unusual activity in either the bank or the credit cards. It took roughly a year, and then the IRS sent me a special ID number, which only, that special ID number is only for the people who have gone through the identity theft. You use that on any subsequent forms. So, identity theft is still out there, and you cannot protect yourself. They can get it. They can get it. A lot of times they get it through getting your medical records, because Social Security number is on that medical record. So they use that, plus they use the other information, because medical record also has your financial record as well. The scammers pay a big buck to obtain medical records, and that's the reason why they love to get them. So that's, in a nutshell, identity theft. Okay. The next one I'm going to talk about, charities. Now, it's ridiculous to even have to talk about charities. It used to be a good thing to give money to a charity, and it still is, provided the charity is legitimate. So, big bucks wasted on these charities now. I'll tell you, the scammers are not dumb. Every time, maybe the same day that a natural disaster will occur, or say that Ukrainian war, a lot of Ukrainian war, fake charities too. But let's say that Ohio, that overturned railroad, the day after it happened, on my email, give to this fund. Okay. Let's tell you what you need to do when that happens. Well, first of all, you want to check on that charity. And what you can do, you can check on the complaints that come in for that charity. Now, if someone just started that on day 1 or day 2, you're not going to get any complaints. So know that right off. But if it's been around a while, you need to look at that first. And you can get that by going on to this Watchdog charity list. So what else? You can also look at the Better Business Bureau. The Better Business Bureau has a wise gifting, looking at different frauds and all. So see what the Better Business Bureau has to say. Then you can also look up the IRS tax exempt, because a good charity usually has tax exempt status. And you can find out if that particular, quotes, charity is a tax exempt charity, or is it all going into the pocket of the scammer. So you need to look at that. Now, back for many years now, the scams involved over the period of time, big scams for the police, the firemen, and veterans. Now, who's not going to give to the local police, to the local firemen, to the local veterans? And that's what the scammers are depending on. And so you go through that same process, looking at all these. Now, the police took care of their own. The police said, we're not ever going to contact you, nor are any of our organizations going to contact you. And from that point on, the police scammer thing went down. But they're still out there for the fire department, and they're still out there for a number of totally bogus veteran units. And they look to your heart. Look at these poor disabled veterans, for example. And they always have the poor disabled people. And it may not even be a veteran, but, they're out there to get that buck. That is it. So I told you the ways that You can look them up. Now, if you still want to give, never, ever, never, ever give with a gift card or a wire transfer. That money's gone. Now, if you give a check, you need to verify later with your bank where that check is going to go. Verify with the bank that in small print, it's not an ongoing automatic gift every month. That's one of the things the scammers do. They put that little clause in that you don't read at the end in the tiniest letters, and they'll say, well, you gotta, every month you're gonna give another $100 or something. So watch that if you're gonna give. Okay, so that is the number 2, the charities. Number 3, I want to talk about the Geek Squad. Geek Squad. Now, originally, the Geek Squad was actually part of Best Buy. Now, you all know Best Buy, where you can go and buy these, all of the latest technology, basically. Well, the Geek Squad basically was something that Best Buy offered. They would be an ongoing, on-site type of repair service for whatever technology you bought at Best Buy. And you would pay a fee, a monthly fee, to the Geek Squad. Well, now there are loads of Geek Squads all over the world, all over the world. And it's still one of the highest, I guess the highest, you might say, income type scams out there. Now, what are the different types of scams that the Geek Squad will have? There are 8 varieties, 8 varieties. And so, number 1, if you get something, either a phone call or if you get a thing on your email, auto insurance renewal, or change your insurance, get a better deal, that type of thing. And auto renewal is a big deal. And let's say that your refrigerator or your appliance of any kind, extended warranty, not just on a vehicle, but on any appliance, extended warranty. And then a year later, when something happens to that appliance, well, we have no record of any. Okay, that's good. That's one of the Geek Squad things. Number 2, security support. And so that's what, remember I told you that you can find that under little print. If you sign up for this, you're going to be billed every month automatically, usually about $400. They don't go small for continued treatment or continued security for your support, for your system. They also will try to sell you malware. What's wrong with the malware I have? Well, what they do is they'll take the name, like Norton, or one of the different things that are out there for legitimate malware, and it'll look legitimate because it looks Norton and all is right on there, and they'll try to sell you a policy for malware. Also, if they can get a hold of any information on that computer about you, they can put a virus into your computer so you can't use it, and then ransom. You can pay us $500, we'll put you back online again. That's really nice of you. Okay, so ransomware, that's another thing run by the Geek Squad. I told you about tech support. They also have phishing scams where they're trying to get any information they can. And usually they try to get medical information because that has a plethora of different things like your social security number, your address, your age, all that stuff is on the medical record, and medical technology has not kept up. And a lot of times, once they get one piece of information, they can get the rest. The latest thing from Geek Squad now has to do with the fact that this Geek Squad will send out an email to you saying that you can get 4 free COVID-19 antigen tests per month. And we'll send it to you. It won't cost you a cent. Well, that doesn't sound bad. Doesn't cost me anything. Yeah, but what it's costing and costing you in the long run is they're billing Medicare for the test that they probably have never sent you. They'll bill them every month for 4 tests, and you know how much they get per test? $94 Medicare will pay them per test. Now, for God's sakes, $94 for a single. Well, there's 2 tests, okay, 2 tests in the box. Isn't that ridiculous? I complained, actually, when I saw that, I complained to Medicare. What the heck are you giving them $94 for 2 tests on a monthly basis? And they're doing 4 tests a month. 4 times 2. Oh my God. Now that goes on to your Medicare. They're paying for it. But remember, you have a limit every year to how much Medicare will pay for medications, tests, whatever you have to get. And that goes on to that medication list, and you get a printout of that every month. So make sure you look at that printout. Make sure that, number 2, you're getting the test. Because most of the time, if you're getting it from the Geek Squad, you're not getting the test, and your Medicare is getting charged for the test. And Medicare stupidly pays them $94 a test. Okay, that is the Geek Squad. Now, isn't it amazing that the Geek Squad can put their thing put their website on, and they go on to Facebook, they go on to Twitter, they go on to all these things. Oh, okay, let's go on to the next one. Let's say tax preparation. This time of year, you may get something about tax preparation. We are certified, blah, blah, blah. And again, they will use legitimate names to try to entice you to get their service. Once you do, boy, you're giving them a lot of information for the tax preparation. They will gain from that a lot. Plus, as an incentive, of course, they will tell you, oh, we're going to get you every cent that you deserve, you know. We will promise you a good refund. Oh, so be very careful. You better know who's doing that preparation. Number 2, you never, ever sign a blank return. Never, ever, never. And then, okay, well, that's enough on the tax preparation. Let's go to the next scam. And basically now, we're talking about any unsolicited emails. Now, I've been burned enough. I don't answer any unsolicited emails. I don't care what it is. Whether it's a product, whatever the thing is, if it's an unsolicited email, I don't even look at it. Delete. That's it. And you should do the same. You should do the same. Okay. The next one, online dating. Now you say, what the hell's that got to do with seniors? And that's a good question. But believe it or not, there's enough lonely seniors out there, whether they're married or single or divorced or widowed, whatever. There's a lot of lonely people out there, and they will fall for these online dating schemes. Now, I'll meet you down at this restaurant or whatever. Yeah. And then, oh, I can't make it because I've got this terrible illness. I've got a horrible toothache. I need to have an implant. I need $2,000. Oh, well, anytime you fall for that online dating crap, you probably deserve to lose a few $1,000s anyway. So stay away from it. Stay away. The next one, sweepstakes. Now, we still get emails saying, starting out, congratulations, you won this either lottery or you won this. You're getting a free whatever. And they will use different names, like if you get, say, a tool of some kind, free. And they'll have a little thing on there with either Lowe's or Home Depot or Ace Hardware or something where you can get those things, but you go to the place to get it, they don't have any idea about it. So don't ever, ever fall for a sweepstakes, a lottery, or a prize that you've won. Ever, ever. Okay, let's go on. We got plenty of scams to talk about. Now, believe it or not, I talked to a guy the other day, and he fell for this one. His supposed granddaughter gives him a call in the middle of the night saying that they've broken down in this place, obviously in another country, whatever, and I need $1,000 so I can get back to the United States. Now, how did they know, first of all, that you're the grandfather of this girl, this granddaughter? And how did they know that that granddaughter had gone to this country? Well, when you look online, you can find out. These people who go down there, they're sending back pictures. Oh, here I am, poolside in Acapulco and all. Well, for crying out loud. And then they find out where it was sent, find out that you're the grandfather or grandmother, and then bang, always the middle of the night, phone call. I need $1,000. I'm stuck down here, or the law is after me, or whatever the reason. Don't ever fall for that crap. Don't ever. Okay, let's go on. I got loads of them. Cryptocurrency. If you fall for any where you have to buy cryptocurrency, then you deserve whatever you get out of it. Don't be a Tom Brady. Don't be a Giselle. They fell big time for a cryptocurrency. Don't you ever. Don't you ever. Next one, debt collectors. Oh, you have a big credit card debt. Oh, okay, well, we can get you a big discount on all that. Oh, boy, that sounds good. And then, yeah, you just send in, say, a 10%, and that's it. That's all you're going to wind up having to pay. Oh, okay, I'll send that 10% right in. Sure. And then that was bogus. It was bogus. That is the debt collector. So, and some debt collectors are not so easy. Some of them will threaten you. They'll threaten you with legal stuff. And of course, it's all scam. Oh, I can just continue to go on. Those are only the major ones. The major ones. So, okay. I will quiet down, calm down. Those are the major scams for the day. This is Dr. C. Stay away from them.